question for today is, how do I apply for a job in another state? So there are a lot of variables. So I'm going to work with the assumption we're not talking about closely neighboring states like New York City with northern New Jersey or southern New Jersey with Philadelphia. We're talking about New York with Florida, Florida with Dallas, on and on and on. So I'm going to work with the assumption of the second. First thing is, I'm going to also assume that your phone number doesn't correlate with the area that you're moving to. So, for example, in that New York, New Jersey equation, you don't have you're moving to New York, you don't have a phone number that correlates with that area. So let's say you're in Dallas moving to New York, you've got a 214 number. What do you do? So number one is, I wouldn't put your address on the resume. I know that runs counter to the advice I normally give about putting your city, state, and zip code on a resume, but you're moving to a completely different area. What you can do is, if you have a friend's address that you can work with from that area, put that city, state, zip code on it so that way it correlates to the new area. I'll explain why in a second. The first thing is, though, get a Google Voice number that automatically forwards to your phone numbers. So that could be your home number, it could be your mobile number, but when you're sending out a resume, put your Google Voice number that includes an area code related to the new area. Got that? So that's step number one. Step number two is, if you have a friend whose address that you can use for applications, you put their city, state, and zip code on. Get their permission first. Number three is, when you get the phone call for the phone interview, you indicate in the course of that conversation, at the back end of it, where they're express their interest in meeting with you, say, you're out of the area right now, be happy to come up with a few days' notice, because you want to be doing this at your own expense, and so few firms will pay for it. If you can't afford it, what you do is indicate at the end of the interview, where they express interest in meeting with you, or at the time that they're interested in meeting with you, that you're out of the region, and you use the friend's address that you'd be staying with as the city, state, and zip code on your resume. Got that? So once they've expressed interest, that's when you do the reveal. So that this way, you're asking them to compensate you for the trip up. If they're unwilling to do it, you've hopefully prepared in advance for this possibility so that you can make your own arrangements. If you can't do that, well, frankly, their unwillingness to pay brings this to a conclusion. But at least you've gotten down the road with the firm and demonstrated your competence to the hiring manager and to HR in order to get them interested in you. Usually that's going to be enough to bring this to a subsequent interview or an in-person interview. If not, see if they'll arrange for a Skype or 2 or 3 before they bring you in. So once you've raised the reveal, once you've done the reveal and indicated that you're outside the region, see if they'll do Skypes, multiple, and then come on up to meet with them. Take care.